So we had a great March, and this is our Culture and Awards meeting. We had an amazing March. It looks like April is going to be even better, and that's a good thing because our agents are more productive than anyone I can, even in the North Florida region. It seems like our Keller Williams Smart agents are the most productive. So. So we're going to talk a little bit about those numbers, and I've got two of our megas on here. So glad that Kristin, Kellin, and Christina Moore are joining us to share with us about how they had such an amazing March. And so both closed 7 or 7.5 units, and both were 1.4, 1.7 million in closed volume. And what we want to do is find out what you two did, and which one, Kristin? I know you're on the road. Do you have a place to be? Do we need to start with you?
Yeah, so we can definitely, if that would be great if we can.
You mind, Christina? Oh, you're good. Okay. So I just want to ask you, Kristin, what is it that you did, and what led up to your production in March?
So really, I mean, we didn't do anything differently in March that we did, or I did, I guess, in January or February. My Q1 was actually pretty slow in regards to January and February, but that was a consecutive because we were just really working on trying to close those deals for March. So it was a combination of putting them together in January and February, of course, to close them in March. So, I attribute March to basically January and February.
Good. So right now I hear it every single day. I hear this is a crazy market. In your own words, describe March. Was it crazy?
Yeah. So I think the past, 60 to 90 days for everybody has been, a little different than obviously what you saw in October, November, December of last year. For me, I've just been kind of staying in my lane. I work with a lot of investors, and I've been really focusing and concentrating on that. And I think, part of that, of staying in that lane and not necessarily trying to, we have a ton of buyer leads right now. I think a lot of people are probably experiencing this. We want to be able, obviously, to service all of our buyer leads, but my focus has been primarily just trying to get listings and then working those investments in the investor listings that we have. So that of course helped for our March. That's the majority of what we closed in March came from Sphere or the investments that we have on the books.
Yeah, so that was one of my questions, is what is the source of the leads that actually closed in March?
So sign leads, I've been able to double side a couple listings because of just sign leads, and then Sphere and the investors that we have.
Yeah, so it sounds like referrals, and then if you have a listing from a referral, then you got sign calls from those listings.
Yep. So this month we picked up one of my Lake Miriam listings, is they're purchasing another one of the listings that I have. And so that, that's how that worked out. Obviously they need to sell their house to be able to purchase a house, so that it all kind of runs together. But yes, referrals. So the investors that we have, there's a portfolio that we hold. I have the management company, so we obviously manage them, and then they're interested in selling right now. So on their end, they bought a few years ago. The market's a good time to sell right now, so they're able to sell some of their, that portfolio, which has given us the ability to have a little bit more listings on that side.
Yeah. So I didn't hear you mention internet leads. Or do you feel like internet leads?
Yeah, we have a ton of them in regards to buyers. But I don't think that, right now we're not focusing, I'm not focusing on internet leads. I think the team is probably focusing more on internet leads. I know Julia and Mike are. We've got leads coming in from different sources that, work on the internet. I will say though, I do have a listing that I got, and he said he just found me online. So okay. I would assume that would come from an internet lead. But I would say the majority of what I'm doing is Sphere and just making calls. We're religiously making calls and follow up. it kind of runs together, obviously. But yeah, that's what we're working on.
Yeah. So you've got a team. So describe the team's mindset in this current market.
I think that, with their buyers, there's, we have a ton of, again, we have a lot of pre-qualified buyers right now. And of course, finding them those homes is prevented, it's been a bit challenging. However, with being able to get the listings, we're able to match make some of those buyers, which is good. I'm so sorry. I lost track of what your question was.
No, it's okay. Yeah. Just the mindset of the team, like the rest of your team, your administrative
So I know I talked to Julia about this. I asked her, I said, do you have a specific mindset? She's been in the office really, really grinding a lot lately. And she said for her, it's just been, being in the office and making calls and being around, the environment of, like for myself and Lisa, I mean, we're in the office pretty regularly, and being around the environment, of real estate in general. I mean, right now, like you're not going to a ton of brokers opens. You're not necessarily doing a lot of stuff with other, colleagues in the industry. So for her, being in the office and continuously making those calls and being around the conversations and the different deals and interactions that are happening has helped her mindset be in focus for working with the buyers that she's working with, as well as the listings. Like for her, she picked up 2 for sale by owners this month, and closed both of them in March. So wow. that was just consistent of continuously making calls in January and February and following up. And then she was able to get both of them listed and under contract, within days. And they were both for sale by owners that were on the market, and had not sold. So, wow. I think for her, just grinding and just kind of staying in her lane. I constantly preach, like, focus on what you're going to do. If you're going to work with buyers, work with buyers. If you're going to try to do both, that's fine. But figure out like what days you're making those calls, what times you're trying to dedicate to the buyers. And of course, the listings that you have, just really focusing on, what manifesting what you're trying to focus on, you know what I mean? Like growing that. And it doesn't just take an overnight thing to do that.
Yeah. So last question, based on your Q1 results, what changes are you making that will impact your second quarter?
I don't know if it's so much of a change as it is really just trying to be consistent with making those calls and follow up. So I have gotten a ton of business over the years from just doing that. And I think just being consistent with that and continuously being consistent with that is what we're going to, continue to do for Q2. Continuing to put out the marketing on the listings that we're doing because we like the sign calls, but obviously, we do mailers and we do things like that, in coordination with our listings and just trying to get in touch with the community. I'm all about, door knocking in this industry. We don't have enough listings on the market. So if you can get out and knock on some doors and just canvas some of these areas, whether you're on somebody's team or if you're, for me, like I'm definitely, out there talking to neighbors and chatting with people. I mean, it takes those kind of conversations, to continue getting the business. And especially on the listing side, you've really got to get out there and again, just focus on what you're doing and kind of go get at it. I mean, that's the best advice I can give. So just being productive with your thoughts and, really going out there and trying to achieve the goals that you're trying to do for your Q2.
Yeah, just one quick, really short story before I let you go, and I really appreciate you giving us a few minutes of your time. I was going around the Lake Hollingsworth, and one of my kids was like, Sana. He started talking about Kristin Kellin. I'm like, where'd she come from, and how do you know her first and last name? But it's just sort of that ginormous sign that you've got. Yeah. This has got to be, you might be getting some calls just from that, just because it's got such good. So many views and eyeballs looking at that sign that is being renovated. So
it is. Awesome. So the house, yeah, it's a great property. It's being renovated. It's under construction. I think, right now, you're finding with new builds that it's taking, I've like months and months, you're up to a year. I think there's, waits up to 14 months on some of these newer construction. Now this price point, this one's listed at 1.395. But even in that price range, if you're doing a custom build, you're looking at, potentially 9 months, again, a year plus to be able to get a build done. So I think that it's attractive, obviously, in that aspect, to a buyer right now. So we threw it on the market. It is under construction. It's a great property. Obviously the sign is great. It's a huge sign. I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah.
It
Well, it's
is.
awesome.
Yeah, but again, I mean, there's no, you got to take advantage of it while you can in that particular area. There's no HOA and there's nothing stopping you from putting up a sign, and why not? That's what we do for a living. So.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you, Kristin. Thank you for giving us some of your insight on this market and helping our agents stay busy and keep crushing it. We want to hear
everybody. Thank you. Everybody's doing a great job. I'm really proud of our market center. Everybody seems to be really kicking butt and taking names. So it's good to see.
Awesome. Thanks, Kristin.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
So, Christina.
Hey, good afternoon.
Congratulations. I think you might be having your best last 12 months ever. So, way to go.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you're usually too busy to be in the office, and here you are. So what is your mindset around this market?
I love this market because anybody who's been thinking about selling needs to sell their house, and they need to choose me to list it and sell it with excellence.
That's good. So I might be deviating from these questions a little bit because I know a lot about your business. So what is the source of the leads that closed in March for you?
Okay. So I thought a lot about this question, and I'm really excited to tell you that it's loving on my past clients. And so in December, we had a huge client appreciation event, and we rented out the drive-in movie theater here in town.
I was there.
And it was awesome, and people loved it. We had a sponsor pay for half of the venue rental. I'm willing to spend money to make money. I'd much rather spend money on my clients than spend money on online advertising or paying for leads. And so I will tell you, I don't spend money on online leads. I'll pay for outside referrals, but I don't spend any money on Realtor.com or Zillow or any of that. And so I have a couple of times in my career, and the return is not there. The return is loving on my past clients, working my sphere. And so the team had, we've had client appreciation events, big client appreciation events, now 2 years in a row. And then just in February, I've done this inconsistently in my 10 years of real estate, and I've decided I'm going to be more consistent. But in February, I loved on all my clients. Every one of my past and current clients got Girl Scout cookies with a sticker on it that says, "I love being your realtor." And a box of Girl Scout cookies, Thin Mints, is $6. Okay. Now, it was a lot of work to get them delivered to people and whatnot. People love that. You know how many referrals I got off of a $6 box of Girl Scout cookies? Like, unbelievable. And so when I look, you sent me that question, and I looked at my closings, and I was like, client appreciation event, Girl Scout cookies, past client. These are all people who I communicated with consistently. And in the past, I've been inconsistent about it. And I'm telling you, if I'm top of mind, they refer me. This week, I just got a lead from my home inspector. I got another lead from another mom in a Bible study group. But the most of my leads come from past clients. Another thing that me and my team love to do, one of our favorite sources of lead generation is open houses. We like to hold open houses every weekend and every Saturday and Sunday. There are several agents on my team that love Sundays, and that's their life by design. And so we hold open houses every weekend on our listings. If we don't have a listing available, our team would love to host open houses on other people's listings. We hold really well organized, excellent open houses. Like, I'm really proud of our team. All of us do, I'm telling you, like Matt, Amy, Kelly, Dean, like, we hold awesome open houses. We're over the board, balloons, flags at the end of the driveway, like 20 signs in the neighborhood. We pre-promote it, we door knock, we try to get maximum exposure for the listing, and then we get those leads. I want those leads. We love the buyer lead, but I love the neighbors. I want the neighbor who wants to sell his house. I want the nosy dude who's like, well, how much are you getting for this house? And I'm like, I'm going to sell your house for you too.
Yeah, nosy neighbor open houses, the best, right? How
It
much
is.
do you spend on open houses?
Very little. I mean, it's because we're not buying new stuff every time. I mean, we'll have bottles of water. But you know, the $150 open house flag, you know, we've used for 2 years. We even have welcome mats that say like, welcome to the open house. We put out in front of the door. Most of the stuff is reused. For a while last year with COVID, we didn't do any waters or cookies or anything. We're still not doing food per se, but I like to have, it's warming up. We like to have ice water, like in a bucket. It looks good. We have Matt and Amy have Smart Title has given them, Beth has given them some fun things, a handout of value. It looks really good. They do a whole spread on the counter. We love open houses. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's my favorite. I don't know why other realtors don't love to do it. We love them. It's the best way to meet
I know
buyers.
why they don't do them. They don't do them because they don't do them correctly.
Yeah.
And so if they don't do them correctly, they don't work out, and then they don't work. If you want to spend time on the weekend doing something that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, a follow-up question to that. When you're talking to somebody, let's say that somebody that you give a Girl Scout cookie to, or somebody that you meet in an open house, like what is their mindset about this market? Have they gone to the internet and found out what their home is worth, or are they in the dark as far as what values, like if they have a home to sell, or do they know what their home is worth, or do they not know what their home's worth?
Well, they have an idea because everybody looks at Zillow's estimate. So everybody knows. Before I talk to anybody, they're like, well, Zillow says this.
Mm-hmm.
I had a listing appointment this morning. These people had read reviews online. That's another source. I hadn't mentioned this, but another source of leads I have that has really paid off is I've spent the last year and a half building my online review base. I have a significant amount of sales, but people don't want to review me because it's a pain in the butt. They love me and they'll tell friends. They might tag me on a Facebook post. But if I ask someone to please go enter a review on real estate websites, and as much as we don't like Zillow, you need reviews on Zillow. You do. You need reviews on Realtor. You need a Google profile. You need those things. And so we've invested time and we've asked clients, please review us. I ask them at the closing. And then PETA follows up afterwards. I've got someone else helping me doing marketing. And then what we did last fall is we sent everybody a thank you. Anybody who's reviewed me in the last 2 years, I sent them a thank you card that also included a Palace Pizza gift card. Thank you for taking the time to review me, because it's a pain. You got to log into these websites. And so that's another thing. The listing appointment I had this morning had read reviews online, but when I got there, they had a number in their head. They didn't want to tell me that number, which by the way, the number they had in their head was this estimate. So I already knew that because I always check that before I meet with them. And then they tell me all kinds of crazy stuff. We hear people are waiving appraisals, and we hear this. And Christina, I heard I can just slap a price on my house and somebody's going to give it to me. And I'm like, and he's like, we're interviewing other realtors. And I'm like, well, somebody's going to tell you what you want to hear, and I'm going to tell you the facts. And people like that. I'm a straight shooter. I'm going to tell you the facts. I'm not, yes, you might luck out and have some cash buyer who's coming from the Northeast who's willing to pay cash and waive an appraisal and whatnot, but odds are you still are going to get a financing buyer. We need to list it. I'm recommending we list it within the parameters of what it would appraise for.
So just think about this. Everybody that's watching, have you been to Zillow lately to check your own estimate? And so here's what I just want to, as fast as I can, make this point. I've lived in my house now 6 years. The house I moved from is in Plant City. I sold it in 2015. So immediately once I sold it, this estimate went up. And then each and every year, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then years, our market has done what? It's gone up, right? So then Zillow says, okay, we'll now pay you, for those who qualify, we'll pay you your estimate. So I went back to my old house and I said, well, I wonder if they'll pay that estimate. Well, guess what? As soon as they made that announcement, this estimate went down. So now the estimate on my old house is $25,000 lower and what I sold it for in 2015. So be careful now, because if somebody says, who knows what their estimate is? It could be low. Used to be high, now it could be low.
Oh, yeah, I educate people on that. Like, don't go based on that. That's an algorithm, that's not a person. But I just want to be cognizant that people have looked at that, and that's often where they're coming up with their number before I meet with them.
Yeah. So your team, Kristin was talking about her team is coming in daily. They're working, they're really working hard. How's describe the mindset of your team in this market?
So the mindset of my team. So I would describe my team as really hardworking and follow through. That's a really big piece that I think a lot of agents, we're all busy, and the follow through matters. It's the follow up and the follow through. We can have the best open house ever, but if you don't call people back, you're not going to convert them. And so we have to be quick. We have to be quick to respond to people, calls, texts, emails. We need to be quick to convert them and to have the right conversations to where they can trust us, to continue as their buyer's agent, to list their home. I notice that things move so fast. If you aren't keeping contact and melding that relationship with people, you're going to lose them. And I'm really proud of my team is really good about forming those relationships with people and the trust. I'm really proud of them for that. I don't mean to stumble on my words. I'm sorry.
That's all right. So those of us who are watching, or those who will watch this recording, if somebody out there says, "Hey, I'm not having the success that I wish that I would have since the market's so hot," what's the focus? If you had a suggestion, what could those agents do to get busier? What should they focus on?
Follow the Keller plan. I wish the Keller plan. First of all, I wish I was Kellerized from the beginning, by the way, guys, because I wasted the first 4 years of my career not being Kellerized. But follow the plan. Everything that they teach you in Ignite. Call the people. Call the people in your phone. All these contacts. They know and love you. Call them. Ask them how they're doing. Find out if they have any real estate needs. Do they have real estate needs? They don't? Okay. Does their mom? Does their grandma? Does one of their coworkers? It's the conversations with people. The networking. Like, it is networking. Like, I went to an HOA meeting. And my next door neighbor wanted to sell a couple of years ago. Well, that next door neighbor has turned into so many pieces of business, and he had a realtor before me, but he's trusted me. So I sold a house, bought a house. He's now going to have me list his rental house. He just referred me to 2 of his friends, and keeping that relationship, it's not transactional. And so you form that relationship, and you keep in contact, 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 and keep in contact, and keep contacting them. Follow the plan. It's all in there. It just took like years to click. I'm sorry, I'm a late adopter. I'm here to tell you, follow the plan and it works. Don't go seeking new business though. That's my advice. Don't go, yes, like we all have a book of business. We just need to work it. My mother-in-law was one of my best lead sources when I first got started. She was my bird dog. She would tell everybody. My husband's coworkers, I get a lot of leads out of my husband's business. He works in insurance. He's at a corporate regional office, and the people moving in and out all the time. And I told my husband, I'm like, hey, I need a lead out of you. Kelly Faden tells her husband from time to time, she's like, you owe me a listing. He'll go talk to somebody. He got her a listing. Like, there are people in our lives who know other people who have real estate needs. And so I think if someone is saying, hey, I need to boost my business, pick up the phone, call everybody in your database. Call all of your past clients. They liked you. Unless you had a really sour experience, and don't call them. Anybody you've ever worked with, they chose you last time. They'll choose you again. They'll tell their friends. They'll tell their family. They'll tell their neighborhood. But you can't assume the business is going to come to you. And I just had that conversation with my team as well. I'm like, call all your past clients. Call them right now and work it. That's my favorite business is the repeat clients. And at 10 years, I've been licensed 10 years, July is my anniversary. I can tell you foundationally, my business is based on my spirit.
That's awesome. Well, I'd love to hear that. And I really love to hear when you say, I should have followed the model from the beginning.
I should have.
I live for those moments, so that's good. I don't have to. So, well, that's awesome. Thank you, Christina, for your insight. And I thank you for being a part of this and giving us really a half hour of your time. and we got probably another 20 minutes of cool things to talk about, including the last thing we're going to talk about is our Q1 market share. And we've got that flyer made. So we're going to release that to everybody and send it out first to those who are on this call. So if you can hang out, Christina, great. Everyone who's here, you can hang out another 20 minutes. We'll get through
Awesome.
birthdays and bucket fills. Thank you, Christina. And
thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And I want to say this too before I hang up. I'm really proud of my team. I'm going to plug Dina. Dina Lanehart had her best week ever last week. She sold $1 million in real estate in 7 days.
woohoo, is she on here?
She's
Yes.
listening. If you see
Way to
Dina,
go.
give her a high five.
Omar's clapping. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Christina.
I'll hit mute.
Okay. So let's get going, Nicole. Katie.
We are ready.
Cool. All right. So we're going to fly through this. We are not talking about campaigns, though. Welcome to our second half of our team meeting. And we're going to start with birthdays. We want to mention all these agents in the office. And Kristin, Kellin. Oh, I missed it. I missed that opportunity. So anyway, they're all had a birthday in April. And so if we send out cards, if you guys know of someone that's got a birthday coming up, remind them. And listen to a lot of cool people. Awesome. Let's keep going. Happy work anniversary to these folks. Jessica Dame, Brandon Kingler, Michelle. Happy anniversary. Who's on here? Debbie Page might be on here. She told me she was jumping on.
McGlamory, Mike Hammock.
Awesome. I don't know how many years, but some of these folks have been here forever.
Yeah.
Bucket fills. So bucket fills is where we've got KW and culture are synonymous, and so bucket fills are our chance to say something nice about our fellow agents or our rainmakers or administrative team. Does anybody want to come off mute and say something great about somebody else? Acknowledge them, thank them for something, or just rat them out for being generous and kind.
I'll start real quick. I just want to thank Nicole and Janelle and you, Damien, for allowing me to go on my honeymoon last week and just picking up where I was lacking in those things and kind of letting me enjoy that time and not feel like things would be on fire when I got home. So I truly appreciate that, and just shows how well we work together and are as a team. So thank you all for that.
You're welcome. And so I need to go next because I've got a similar one, Katie. Thank you, and Nicole and Janelle, because I too was gone, not on my honeymoon, but I was gone on vacation with my family, and nobody bothered me. Not that anything's ever a bother, but it was super quiet. When I got back, I expected the office to be burned down, and everything was humming. And we had some of our greatest numbers, our greatest recruiting numbers as well. And it was great to see. And you guys had some fires that you put out, and I didn't even know about them. So thank you so much to our leadership team.
Yeah, no problem.
Anyone else?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hey, Amy.
Hey, you can. I wanted to thank Ashley Bearden because she's been meeting with me once a week and been we talk through our goals for the week and what we did well last week and what we kind of fell behind on the week before. And it's been incredibly helpful at keeping me motivated and improving. So I just wanted to thank her for taking the time, even though I'm so new and I've got so many questions and I talk so much.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thanks, Ashley. I know you're on there. That's good to hear. Thank you, Amy, for speaking up. Anyone else? All right.
I want to do a shout out to Janelle for our lovely morning emails, keeping us on track for the day, and Nicole with her weekly tech tips and reaching out to us to make sure that we're good and don't need anything.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Ashley, for speaking up. We always wonder who reads those emails. Now we know.
It's me.
So anyone else? As soon as we move on, I'll think of somebody, but we can go on. All right, congratulations, Chris Coates, Jenny Lamberto for capping. Trisha Davis, cap, she had a huge month. Stephen and Madeline Batman, cappers, awesome. Ben Beckton, yeah, he usually caps in about a day. Kelly Fain, way to go.
Woo-hoo.
Kristen Kellin.
Awesome.
First closing, Colin Blaze. Look at that picture. That's awesome. All right, let's go through the numbers.
All right, so what a killer month we had. GCI is going to be what you guys took home. So this is always an awesome category to go over. And to see the numbers is crazy. You guys are really killing it in this market. So it's awesome. For our top individuals, we have Jenny Thompson in first place, Chad Carr in second place, and Daniel Cook in third place. And just want to mention, Daniel just grew his team by one. So starting next month, he'll show up as a team. But as of March last month, he was solo. So congrats to Daniel on that. For our teams, which is 2 people, in first place, they killed it. I think they had 10 or more closings last month. Christine Ellenbeck and Stacy Foskey are in first place. Focus Group Florida in second place, and the LaMonica team in third place. So congrats to our teams. For small group, which the Moore team is now back in small group. I know they were a large group. So in first place, we had the McKeel team. In second place, the Moore team showing up. And then in third place, we have the Kellin group. So awesome job to our smaller teams. And then for GCI and large group, first place, we had Gate Artie in the group. So congrats. Second place is BB Home Experts, formerly known as the Becton Coyle Florida group. And then in third place, we have Rhodes Stevens, not too far behind. So awesome job on GCI. Super important because this is what you guys take home and provide for your families and your teams with. So that's awesome.
Good job.
The next category is going to be units. So also important. For individuals, we had in first place, Chad Carr, second place, Mike Walker, and third place, Jenny Thompson. So congrats to those. For teams, again, we had Next Step Home Team in first place, same order, Focus Group Florida in second place, and the LaMonica team in third place. For small group units, the Moore team killed it in first place. Congrats to you guys, followed by Kellin group in second, and the McKeel team in third.
Good job.
And then same order again for our large group. We have Gate Artie in the group in first place, with BB Home Experts in second, and Rhodes Stevens group in third place. So I also just want to go over, before we go over these numbers, I wanted to just shout out a few people who did some crazy volume in March. So we had quite a few people. I'm just going to run through these names real quick. The agents I have on here who did over 1 million in volume are Leanne Bandy, Logan Bennett, Ben Beckton, Daniel Cook, Lori Edwards, Adam Hotchkiss, Chad Carr, Kristen Kellin, Christina Moore, Arlene Muldrew, Tabitha Pugh, Tanya Reagan, Brian Stevens, Patrick Thurman, Mike Walker, and Jared Waglin. And then I have a few people who did over 2 million. That is going to be Trisha Davis,
Wow.
Darren Moreno, and Jenny Thompson.
Wow. That's
And
awesome.
then I have 3 more people who did over 3 million. So I have Christine Ellenbeck, Kim McKeel, and Russ Rhodes. So, wow, what great numbers that is, guys. Congratulations to all of you.
Yeah, congratulations, all of our agents being so productive in this market. I know it's a great market, but it's also, these are amazing numbers. And 1.23 million in 1 month is jaw-dropping amazing. So let's go over the KWRI numbers just real quick. You can see these are the metrics that you all are familiar with. You know, we want to track, you know, our month over month and our year-to-date numbers to see how well we're doing. So when we have a great month or we're having a great market, how are you doing compared with Keller Williams Realty International? How are you doing with the regional and then with the market center? How are you doing compared? And we will go over the region and the market center here in just a moment. These numbers on your screen are Keller Williams Realty International numbers. So closed units month over month is up 30.1%. Year to date is up 21%. So that's great. It's a great market. Closed volume up 52.3% month over month and up 39.9% year to date. How are you tracking compared to the rest of the nation? Listings taken up 6%, down year to date 4.6%. Not real surprising since listings are hard to find. Listings taken volume, values are up, so maybe those aren't negative numbers. And that's what it looks like, up 19.2% month over month, up 4.8% year to date. Listings sold up 31.2%, up 22.7% year to date. You see the numbers for listing sold volume, contracts written volume, and then closed GCI. And it's to see closed GCI up 49.7% month over month means in March it was an incredible month for gross commission income. And then year to date, it means agents have had a raise of 37.8%, and we want to keep that going the rest of the year. Let's go to the regional numbers. So these are similar numbers. You got closed units, same metrics. Closed units are up. Closed volume is up. Listings taken are up month over month, but down 8.8% year to date.
This is
Not
our
real
market
surprising.
center, right?
Are we good? Okay, you're right.
Yeah, just want to
This
clarify.
did you do the region? I'm just wondering if that's the next slide.
Nicole, do you have it?
It's okay if you don't. We can talk about these are great. These are the market center numbers. So up, closed units up 32 month over month, 17.1 year to date. Closed volume is up. Our values are up. Listings taken are up month over month. Our listings taken are down year to date. Not real surprising. And those are the things that we can work on to try and find more listings to dominate the competition. Listings taken volume is up, and that's because values are up. Prices are up. Listings sold up 38% month over month and up 21.4% year to date. Listings sold volume up 60.2% and up 34.9% year to date. Contracts written are up. Contracts written volume, and then closed GCI up 49.2% month over month and up 31% year to date. So all agents are making more money. If you're not making more money, then we need to pay attention to what some of these top agents are doing to have $1, $2, $3, $4 million months. And mainly it sounds like sphere of influence and referrals. So let's keep going. Okay, let's keep going. Red Day's coming up May 13th. It's about three weeks away. Save the date. Daniel Cook and Matt Leonhardt are working on some cool things with their committee. Actually, they're working, they have a committee meeting tomorrow. Red Day is going to be part of the topic, I believe. So just mark this date. It's going to be a Thursday. And we hope to get as many people out as possible to participate in Red Day. It's a little short video, Nicole. Hopefully we can hear it. We cannot. We can watch it. It's pretty. It's a cool video. Hey, Nicole.
Go ahead and voice over it, Damien.
So those of you who are watching and don't know what Red Day is, it's our one day during the year that we give back to our community. And we normally have 100 plus agents in our office that participate. And please know that this Red Day is across the globe. So you'll have people in Turkey and people in different countries that are also giving back to their local communities. And so we're a few weeks away, and we'll get more details coming soon about exactly what we're doing. And you can decide then what your involvement's going to be.
This is just a quick reminder that KWRI is constantly putting toolkits and podcasts now and other strategies for us to get these listings that everyone keeps saying, we need listings, we need listings. So they are amping up. If you go into KW Connect, check out all the new listing things that they are trying to help us with.
Yep.
Also, in the My Market Center, they are doing Market My Listing, and they now understand that listings are going off the market so quick that maybe you don't need a Market My Listing, you need a Market My Sold. So they are willing to convert your marketing material to just sold instead of just listed, if that is something you want to take advantage of. The command is doing 66-day challenge, and they are working on bug fixes. Hopefully, if you guys have noticed, there are a lot less bugs, but please don't stop coming to me and reporting them, because we are massively trying to take control and cut these bugs in half. So don't forget to reach out if you are having any bugs. And in campaigns, they now have started to create quick campaigns. So if you want to have social media posts for yourself every day, there's a just quick shuffle through, find one you want and add it. So it does it all for you now.
And this is the cool flyer that you can use to share with anybody in your database that's wondering, who should I list my house with? Who's the busiest? Who's the best and most successful? We will release this to you guys today. It's basically the Q1 results for productivity, closed units, closed volume. And I'm just happy to tell you that we are by far still the #1 real estate company in the area. And consumers by far are choosing KW agents for all their real estate needs. So this is there's no phone number on here. So if you want to send it out to your database or share it on social media, feel free to do that. Add a little caption so they can call you, and yeah, run with it. I'd love for this to be one of the ways that you get more conversations started about real estate, so you can take more listings.
Yep, and we'll be posting this later today after the meeting.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, all 19 of you that are here, appreciate you being a part of this. And we'll have more top producers in the future sharing their techniques and strategies for having amazing months of productivity. Have an awesome week. If you have any questions, reach out to me and Nicole, Katie, or Janelle. We're here to help.
To work with us.
See ya.
Bye, guys.